What's up, guys? Today I have a little deck list. I get a lot of flack for wanting to play this deck, and because I think this is a good, Buzzwole in itself is a good archetype. I have a little brief talk video at some point that I'm going to put up. It's probably going to come up before this video does, on this card in particular and the combinations that I've tested it out with. This one by far right now is my favorite. It's the one that I've been enjoying the most. So obviously we have for Buzzwole, Jet Punch does 30 damage to the active, 30 damage to something on the bench. With some of the other cards we have in here, we can get more damage to the active. We have Knuckle Impact does 160, but he can't use that attack the next turn. Absorption GX does 40 damage times the number of prizes you have. So early game, if you can get one set up with three energies, you can probably smack for a KO on almost any Pokemon. 4 times 6 is pretty good. Next, we've got our draw power in 2 Remoraid and 2 Octillery. I wasn't super keen on this before, but I can get my hand down pretty low most of the time because I'm attaching energies, max elixirs, things like that. So being able to draw to 5 multiple times in a turn isn't too bad. A card that I'm not sure if I want to keep this line in there. I might switch it out later because there's a Silvally one that I think runs a little bit better, but it's the Lycanroc Rockruff line. And Bloodthirsty Eyes is really the only reason why we use it. I've set it up to attack, but 110 versus 160. The 110 is a little bit better. Or the 160 is better with the Buzzwole than it is with the Rockruff or Lycanroc. Sorry. We've got a 1 Rayquaza. Turbo Storm is actually really good. I've had games where I'll set up a Rayquaza early game and I'll start pitching my energies and getting the Buzzwole set up, and then I'll Turbo Storm the energies onto the Buzzwoles on the bench. It's not super great, but it's done pretty good for me. I use it more as an energy accelerant than I do an actual attacker. And I think that it's really good that way. 1 Tapu Lele GX. I want to play more, but I don't have space. I don't think, at least the way that I'm running it, I wish that I had space for more cards, but I really don't have all that much space for them. And then finally is the 2 Regirock. The Regipower, your fighting type Pokemon, do 10 more damage. It's pretty good. I think there might be a couple cards, like you could take out the Rayquaza, obviously. You could cut down to 3 Buzzwole, but I don't really want to because I don't want to decrease the consistency of my deck, and I think that it's super consistent right now. We've got 1 Rescue Stretcher just to recycle. Sometimes I actually use it. I've been Parallel City'd before, and I use it to get back my Lele if they knock something out. So it's a really good card. It's very versatile. And the 1 Field Blower, I don't really think I need to explain Field Blower. 3 Brooklet Hill. I was playing 1, didn't feel like enough. I put in 2. It worked fine, but I think that 3rd one for Stadium Wars is just too good to pass up, especially because you can search for your Remoraid or for a Buzzwole or something that you need to put onto your bench to set up. It's a good card, and I'm surprised that I didn't play it before. There's a lot of decks that I played that I feel like I could have played that in that I didn't. So the tools, I'm still kind of flipping around between. The 3 Floatstone are going to stay stagnant. They're not going to change. I think that Floatstone is one of the best cards in the game, being able to just retreat your Buzzwole or retreat your active into a Buzzwole to take a knockout. I think that's a really good card. I think it's a really good combination. At some point, I'd like to see if I could get another one in there at some point, maybe. Choice Band. The Choice Band is the one that I'm not super impressed with. I know everybody's like, oh my god, you're not impressed with Choice Band. It's the best card ever. I think in this deck, Fighting Fury Belt is better. The only problem is you lose that damage, so it's hard to choose between the Choice Band and the Fighting Fury Belt. I was playing 2 Fighting Fury Belt, 1 Choice Band, and then I tried the other way. But more people are playing the heavy late game GX attackers. So the choice band is better in that kind of meta, but at the same time, you know, Buzzwole has 190 HP, so it gets one hit by a Lapras GX with a choice band. I learned that the other day. I think it's good. It's not as, I don't think it's super great, but I'm gonna keep testing it out, and maybe I'll update later on another build or something. I don't know. See if they change. Obviously, for Ultra Ball, I want to run 3. I think 4 is too many, but I can't cut the 4th one. It's just too good of a card, and it's the only really search we have. So if we need to search for the Lele, it's the only really search we have for that. Yes, I know that I have the World Championship one, but I've got 4 Max Elixirs. I have the 4th one in the mail at some point somewhere. But Max Elixir is very important for this deck because you want to accelerate into your Buzzwoles really quick. And being able to do that with the Max Elixir, I've had games where I'll Max Elixir 2 times and I'll set up a Buzzwole in 1 turn. Or I'll set up the Lycanroc in 1 turn for its GX attack and just knock things out that I can't really deal with in that instance. So it's really good. It's hard to say whether it's super great. I think it's good. It's okay in this deck. There's probably some other cards that I could play, but I'm not going to take them out. Just that energy acceleration, which is why there's a Sylvalius going around with it, with Buzzwole. That I think is also really good. Next, we've got 4 Guzma. I don't think you can play any less than 4 in this deck because you need to retreat your Buzzwoles from the active if you're chaining Knuckle Impacts. So being able to be like, oh, I'm going to pick the 150 Pokemon and then I'm going to knock it out with the Buzzwole. Pretty good. And I think that Guzma is going to be the best card in the format for a while because you can disrupt your opponent's plays and things of that nature. Next, we've got 4N. Once we get Cynthia, I will tell you right now that this card is going to go down to 2. I don't think it's that good early game. I think it's a lot better late game if your opponent's ahead. I might even cut it down to 1 and play 3 Cynthia over it. But it is still a good card, being able to disrupt your opponent on a turn that they get prizes, or on a turn that they, what is it, algorithm, or whatever. It's just really nice to be able to have that. However, I still think that consistently drawing 6 cards is going to be better than N is. I'm not sure what the meta is going to look like once the next set comes out. But I know that I'm going to cut down on N's because I only want to use N when it's convenient to me to disrupt my opponent than, to use it as an actual draw card. And then for Sycamore, I still don't like Sycamore. I am not a big fan of his art. He looks so smug. Anyway, discard your hand, draw 7. It actually works really well with the Rayquaza, being able to have him set up and then use a couple energies that you have in the discard pile to pump up your Buzzwoles with the Rayquaza. I've done that plenty of times where I set up a Rayquaza real quick, switch it to the active, discard my hand, put 3 energies onto something. It's kind of wicked how much synergy Professor Sycamore gives you with cards that accelerate from the discard pile. And I think that Sycamore, until it's rotated, is going to be a 4 of in most decks since we don't have Versus Seeker. And then energies, we have 9 fighting energies. I'm getting more expedition energies. It's just been hard to find them. I finally found them, and I'm kind of excited about it. I was playing the base set ones, but I think that I'm more excited for the expedition ones. They're my favorite. They have been since the Utah regionals that I went to last year. And then finally, the best energy in the deck. The strong energy, your attacks of your fighting type Pokemon do 20 more damage. Really good card. That additional 20 damage is insane when you get to a situation like when When you need to knock out something really early, like I've had a game with a Gardevoir player where I needed to knock out the active Ralts because I knew he got a rare candy and a Guardy. Because we were talking about what our hands were, and he's like, I'm gonna win. I have the rare candy into the Gardevoir, and I was like, oh hey, cool, top deck, strong energy, put a Fighting Fury belt on it, smack you for 60, knock you out. It's a strong card. Fighting has a lot of really strong support, and I think Buzzwole is that card that pushes it over the top. It's very strong. It's consistent. And I feel like people don't give it enough credit. It's a good card, strong attacks, strong capability to, come in and just start setting up big KOs. And I am actually really glad that they printed him in a card like this, as Buzzwole is my favorite. So I think that's going to be it for today. Let me know what you guys would change. What do you think about the Lycanrocs in here? I'm thinking of changing them to Silvalis at some point. I'm not entirely sure, but I guess we'll see in the next time I do a deck profile for this deck. But until then, guys, this is Team Magma Admin, Vespa King, Alex, whatever you want to call me, and I am signing out.